Next news. Breaking news.
In just days, 4 brave souls will strap themselves into a rocket and travel farther from Earth than any human being has gone in over half a century. And here's the kicker. Almost nobody's talking about it. While the mainstream media obsesses over their latest manufactured outrage, President Trump's Artemis program is about to make history. This Wednesday, American astronauts are heading back to the moon, and this incredible achievement, launched during Trump's first term, and now coming to fruition in his second, is being virtually ignored. So why doesn't the establishment want you to know about this American triumph? I'm going to tell you why this matters to you and your family. See, for over 50 years, we've been stuck in low Earth orbit, going in circles while China and our adversaries push forward. Well, that ends now. President Trump understood that American greatness means American leadership in space. He put his money where his mouth is. He created the Artemis program during his first term, the first meaningful step since JFK to get us back to the moon. And in his current term, he delivered a massive investment in NASA through the One Big Beautiful Bill. This is not just about planting flags, my friends. This is about national security. This is about American jobs. This is about showing the world that when America sets its mind to something, we don't just compete, we dominate. Our children deserve to grow up in a nation that reaches for the stars, not one that surrenders the heavens to communist China. 8.8 million pounds of thrust, 250,000 miles into space, and the beginning of a permanent American presence on the moon. And speaking of ambitious long-term planning, while Trump is looking decades ahead to establish lunar colonies, shouldn't we be thinking just as strategically about preparing our families right here on Earth? If a major disruption happened tomorrow and supply chains broke down like we've seen before, how long could your family survive on what's in your pantry right now? If it's less than a month, you need to visit our trusted partners at preparewithgary.com. That's My Patriot Supply. See, they're America's #1 preparedness company with over 3 million satisfied customers who understand that real patriots plan ahead. And right now at preparewithgary.com, their best-selling 4-week emergency food supply comes with an additional week of food for free. You're getting real meals, real ingredients, at least 2,000 calories a day, no artificial flavors or colors, and a shelf life measured in decades. While the media ignores common sense preparation, smart Americans are taking action. So get your free week of emergency food at preparewithgary.com. That's the kind of forward-thinking leadership that we need more of, both in space exploration and right here at home. Now, here's what really gets me fired up. The NASA administrator himself just confirmed that in 2028, under President Trump's term, American astronauts are going to return to the lunar surface. Now, this is not some distant dream. This is happening right now on Trump's watch. Christina Koch is about to become the first woman to fly on a lunar trajectory. We've got Victor Glover, Reed Wiseman, and even a Canadian joining the mission. The Orion spacecraft has 60% more room than the old Apollo capsules. See, this is American innovation at its finest, and space enthusiasts across the country are shocked that everyday Americans have no idea. Take a look at this, an incredible milestone. Artemis 2 will travel 400,000 kilometers away, giving humanity its first true glimpse of Earth from the lunar horizon since 1968. The new state-of-the-art Orion spacecraft offers 60% more room for the crew to make history in absolute awe. Watch this.
Ever traveled. From here, the Earth will look like a small and distant globe behind the lunar horizon, a sight that was first captured by the crew of the Apollo 8 mission in the year 1968. This is a photograph that has come to be known as Earthrise. It's the first clear image ever taken of the Earth and the Moon together. Before that, people had only seen grainy, low-quality images of outer space taken by cold, mechanical probes. This was a scene composed through the human eye and captured on color film, and it changed the world. Just like Artemis 2, Apollo 8 was the first crewed test flight of a brand new state-of-the-art technology, and we have come a long way since the 1960s. This is our new spacecraft. The design is known as Orion, but this particular capsule has been named Integrity by its crew. Compared to the old Apollo capsule, it has 60% more internal volume, That's what allows the vehicle to accommodate a crew of 4, while the previous moon missions capped out at 3. Beyond just an extra chair, the new design offers some luxuries that were...
So the Artemis 2 prepares to capture breathtaking views of Earth like never before. So let's delve into the daring journey awaiting these 4 astronauts as they prepare to circle the moon. 4 astronauts set to launch April 2nd and send 4 on a 10-day trip around the far side of the moon. The first crewed lunar mission since '72.
Just days from now, if everything holds, 4 people will climb into a rocket and go further from Earth than any human has traveled in 53 years. Artemis 2 launches in the early hours of April 2nd. The mission is a 10-day loop around the far side of the moon, no landing, but close enough that the lunar surface fills the window. The crew is 3 Americans and 1 Canadian. Christina Cook becomes the first woman to fly in a lunar trajectory. Reed Wiseman commands. Victor Glover and Jeremy Hansen round out the 4. The hardware is the Space Launch System, NASA's most powerful rocket since Saturn, sitting on the same launch pad at Kennedy Space Center that sent Apollo astronauts to the moon half a century ago. The Orion capsule on top has already flown once uncrewed on Artemis 1 in 2022. This time, there are people inside. The mission profile matters. Artemis 2 is not Apollo. Nobody is landing. Nobody is planting a flag. The crew will swing around the far side of the moon, the side that never faces Earth, reaching a closest approach somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 miles off the surface. For 10 days, they will be the most isolated humans in history, further from home than anyone alive has ever been. The program has not had a smooth road here. The original launch window slipped from 2024, then again through 2025. Technical issues with life support systems, heat shield concerns, budget pressure. Artemis has accumulated delays the way NASA programs tend to. China has been watching every one of them, using the time to advance its own lunar program with a stated goal of landing taikonauts on the moon before 2030. That competitive pressure is real, and the people running both programs know it. The last time geopolitical rivalry accelerated a space race, it ended with humans on the moon. The current version has the same energy and considerably better snacks. The Artemis crew menu reportedly runs to BBQ, brisket, and tortillas, chosen specifically because, unlike bread, they don't shed crumbs into electronics. 12 people walked on the moon between 1969 and 1972. None have been back since. The youngest person alive who watched a moon landing in real time is now in their late 50s. Wednesday morning, that changes. 4 people go back, not to land, not yet, but to look out the window and see something no human has seen since 1972. The moon, up close, again, at last.
You know, I gotta say this. She had me a brisket, all right? Wow, they're gonna have brisket in space. With the clock ticking down to the Artemis 2's mission liftoff, why isn't this monumental event even the talk of every town on TV? We'll explore the silence surrounding the historic milestone. Derek Witt writes, calling all owners of restaurants, bars, and other public places, treat the upcoming Artemis 2 mission like a big sporting event. Seems like no one's talking about one of the biggest stories of the year. For the first time since '72, human beings are flying to the moon. Look at that big, beautiful rocket. President Trump certainly knows how to pick them. Reminiscent of the space shuttle. Remember the space shuttle with the 2 booster rockets on the side? Oh, yes, I know you guys miss the space shuttle too. But President Trump is reviving NASA's greatness, finally. And from the excitement on the ground to the shocking indifference highlighted by everyday observers, the buzz or lack thereof around Artemis 2 raises questions about public attention. Everyday astronaut writes, I'm honestly shocked how the general public has no idea Artemis 2 is taking humans out to the moon and will be the furthest humans have ever flown. Every non-space nerd I've talked to has no idea. We got to get people stoked. These 4 humans are flying to the moon. Here they are. And of course, 1 Canadian, the token Canadian. As the Artemis program accelerates towards returning humans to the moon, let's hear how this initiative set in motion by Trump aims for far-reaching achievements in space. Rapid response, 47 posting of the NASA administrator discussing the Artemis 2 program. launching Wednesday, where NASA astronauts are going to go farther into space than anyone has ever gone before.
Exciting is it that we finally arrived at this point where American astronauts and a Canadian astronaut are getting ready to embark on this journey to return astronauts to the surface of the moon. President Trump created the Artemis program during his first term. It was the first meaningful step since the Kennedy era of getting back to the moon. He then created a massive plus-up investment in NASA in the One Big Beautiful Bill. And now Artemis 2 is on the launch pad. This mission, these astronauts, about 8.8 million pounds of thrust, are going to launch on a trajectory around the moon. They're going to go potentially farther into space than anyone's ever gone before, about 250,000 miles away from Earth. They're going to test out their spacecraft. 10 days later, they come back to Earth. In 2027, we're going to launch another moon rocket. This time, we're going to test out the spacecraft plus the lunar landers and make sure that works really well. And then in 2028, under President Trump's term, we're going to land those landers on the moon. American astronauts, NASA astronauts, are going to return to the lunar surface.
Hell yeah, let's go, man. You know, I've already seen the videos of the moon landing. And I know. Sometimes, you know, people question if we ever really went. Well, maybe this time we'll actually go there. But this is going to be wild to watch, folks. I don't think it's going to be a Hollywood production. But this is what the establishment doesn't want you to understand. President Trump didn't just talk about American greatness, he built it. While the media spent years trying to tear him down, he was quietly laying the groundwork for humanity's return to deep space. The Artemis program exists because of Donald J. Trump, period. And now as these four heroes prepare to swing around the far side of the moon to see Earth as a small, distant globe on the lunar horizon, just like that iconic Earthrise photo from '68, we're witnessing the birth of the new era. And by 2028, Americans will walk on the moon again. This is Trump's vision made reality. This is what America first looks like when you look up at the stars. So folks, for the first time in more than 50 years, human beings are heading back into deep space, not just orbiting Earth, but traveling all the way to the moon and beyond. This is Trump's legacy. It's taking flight, literally. And it's one of the biggest stories of the year that the mainstream media refuses to cover properly. So here's what I need from you. Share this video with everyone you know. Let's make sure that America understands what their president has accomplished. Because you watch this video to the end, only you know this. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's how we beat the algorithm. That's how you get the notifications directly from me when YouTube decides that you don't deserve them. No spam, just direct links to your phone from me personally. And if you haven't done so yet, check out the Next News merch shop. Right below this video, pick out something you like, support our work. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think the media is intentionally ignoring this historic Trump achievement? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. It might still work, so you never miss our coverage of America's victories. I'm Gary Franchi. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.